Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back here, and we have such a treat for you here today because I'm so honored to be back talking with somebody who I only did one podcast with ever, and it was a great one. And she says, okay, once every 10 years, I will come and talk to you. So back with us from Survivor Kaôh R, it's Cydney Gillon. Cydney, how are you?
I'm good, Rob. I am just living the dream here and rolling with the punches of life and taking one day at a time.
Okay. Well, I'm so thrilled that you made this time to talk and really looking forward to hearing about your thoughts on Survivor and everything that you've been up to. And I know that the fans are really excited for this one too.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. It's going to be fun.
Okay. Cydney, I know that you know that our bodies are a temple, and a big pillar of that is getting enough sleep. And so I think that you will not mind that we have a great sponsor for this episode of the podcast, our friends over at Manta Sleep, makers of all sorts of things that help you get better rest. 10% off mantasleep.com, promo code RHAP 49. Okay. Cydney, so of course, I think we last saw you as a survivor back in Survivor Kaôh R, which was season 32. Believe it or not, we're on season 49. It's been
Crazy.
17 seasons since we got to see you. And I know that you have been so busy in the world outside of Survivor. Can you tell people what you've been up to and everything that you've accomplished since then?
Well, since then, so when I was on Survivor, I was 22. So once I got out of there,
Wow.
at the time, right, long time, I'm 33 now. So it's been a journey. I was literally 22 and broke, just trying to make ends meet and get from point A to point B. And really, once I got off the show, that's what I started to do. And Survivor really changed my life in that aspect because it gave me that one little check I needed to get my life going the right direction. And I knew I was going the right direction, but it gave me that little bump to where I could actually get the financial means to move from one A to point A to point B. So that's pretty much what happened. And once that happened, my career pretty much took off in the bodybuilding space because it went from me not placing. I placed top 5 the next year in one of the biggest shows in the world. Then I went on to place and beat people who had beat me prior. And the next thing you know, I was top 3 at the Olympia. And next thing you know, I was winning for the next 8 years, better part of a decade of just being the world champion.
Yeah. It's really incredible. I'm looking at a post of all of the different things that you accomplished, and it's really amazing. Are you now still competing at that level?
I just retired last year. So after I won my 8th world title, I was like, hey, y'all can have
8
it.
world titles.
8 consecutive. I was the only person in history to do that for my category.
Yes. Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's extremely impressive.
Thank you.
Why did you choose now to retire? Are you going to go out on top?
Well, that was a part of it, but a large part of it was getting the call from Survivor. So it was like, okay, I didn't want to risk not being able to get my body back where I need to be. So I was like, you know what? Instead of putting the pressure on there, I'll just retire now. I've already done everything I need to do, and then I'll just move from there.
Okay. All right. Let's jump right into that then.
Yeah.
So, all right, you got the call for Survivor 50. And so I follow these rumors very closely. And I did see that you were somebody that they were talking to. And so you had won 8 consecutive bodybuilding championships. And you said, you know what? For the chance to go back to Survivor, I'm going to retire from my career.
Yep. And that was it. I thought about it for a second. I said, there's only so much you can do in a sport. Yeah, I could have gone for 9. I could have gone for 10. But for what? If I already felt like I was comfortable with what I'm doing, I just knew it was a time to pivot. And so I said, okay, weigh the odds, weigh the benefits. And I said, Survivor is just way bigger in the aspect of what I can grow from. I've already grown a lot within my industry, and I'm already at the top of my game. And so it's like, okay, time to pivot. Let's go do something else that's really, really fun. And so this whole year, I've just been living life and doing things that I don't normally do. And that would be a huge one that really take me out of my norm and toss me all the way across the world.
So when you talk about growing from Survivor, you're talking about there's personal growth that you feel like would have come from Survivor.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the key, because I learned so much. You learn so much as a competitor anyway, just as an athlete anyway. And so I felt like that was fulfilled on the bodybuilding form. But when you are tossed into the middle of the jungle with no food and with strangers, there's nothing that will create a different person more than that, or really show you who you are. And so the growth that I had mentally from the first experience, I only knew it would get better for the second time.
Did you feel like that you got a lot out of your first experience that helped you get to where you got in your career following Survivor?
I think they meshed perfectly. I was already who I was prior to Survivor. I was already very straightforward, already very driven, already very relentless, already had all the key things that made me a good survivor because I was already doing them in my regular life. So when I was already doing my regular life, I just took regular me, put Survivor me, and added a couple lies on top. That's it. So that's the real difference between me as an athlete in person and me playing Survivor. I just lie a little extra.
Okay, so I'm sure everybody who's listening to this podcast so far is asking the question, what the hell? I saw who's on Survivor 50 and I don't see Cydney. What happened?
I don't know. All I know is we were going, and it was a way longer process than the first time. Way longer process than the first time.
Tell me about it.
Did all the talking, all that stuff, and then literally by the time April hit, I'm looking like, hey, we should be about to be filming now. Yeah. April hit, I got the call, and it wasn't me, and I said, oh, okay, and that was it. And then I saw the list too, and I was confused, I will say.
Yeah. Did you feel like it was going well? Did you feel like that, okay, that I really feel like that this is going in a very positive trajectory?
I did. I don't think there was anything different than what I did the first time. I literally was myself, and that was it. So I wouldn't see why it would be any issue going into this season. Like, you already loved me before, why not now?
Yeah, because you're somebody who your name has come up constantly since you played. And I know that we could talk about this, there were probably times where they might have called you and you were in the midst of your career and couldn't have done it. But people have really clamored to see you come back. Were there other times where Survivor wanted you and the timing wasn't right for you?
A bunch of times. And so I was like, okay, but you still reached out this time. So clearly I should be okay from that. Yeah, as soon as I got off, there were a few times that they reached out, but I just was like, I can't do it, guys. Because that was when my career was just starting. I knew I was going to get to 8 or get to 10. I knew where I was going. And I couldn't allow anything to take me off that trajectory. So I couldn't go back during the times in which they had already called me back. Otherwise, I definitely would have.
And I know you obviously were disappointed that you didn't get to go do that. But did you feel particularly hurt that you had accomplished these 8 world titles and then took off the quest to go for the 9th world title to pursue Survivor, and then it didn't happen?
Excellent question, Rob. Yes and no. I definitely was taken aback because I thought it was, I wouldn't say I thought it was a shoo-in. Nothing's a shoo-in, but I thought that I would definitely be able to make it out of the amount of people that were left. Yeah. Not knowing how many spots were being held for these people or new people and stuff like that. I didn't know all that information, but I'm just saying, based numerically, I'm like, okay, if people have won me back, you've asked me back numerous times, why would this not be the time? When the one time where I could clear my whole slate, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. But not getting it was actually a blessing. I think that it was probably the best thing that could happen to me. It was that push.
Not for us.
Not for y'all. Because I was ready to play, y'all. I was about to get to scheming. I was going to have a good time, okay? I was really going to show out like another level than I was before. But when it didn't work out, I was like, you know what? Okay, time to pivot. It's okay. And then you'll bounce back and you'll do something else.
Yes. I know you did do something else. Are you able to tell people what you ended up doing? Okay.
You get that.
Okay. Well, stay tuned. Stay tuned, and maybe you'll find out. Okay. You know, did they give you any reason as to why? I know that that they feel like that they are putting a puzzle together, and for whatever reason that it doesn't work out. But did they give you any insight into why not you, not now?
I asked. There was nothing. It was kind of like a general blanket statement of, oh, maybe next time or something like that. Or more so, you can go do other shows. And so I'm like, okay. So I definitely asked. I was curious. I honestly generally want to know whatever the answer, whatever it was. So and in my brain, I couldn't really piece together why not. More so because, not to be shady, but y'all know I tell it how it is. You have people who are on international television trying to quit and you bring them back. That's crazy to me. That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Like, why would you do that? You already disrespected the game. Bring somebody back who wants to play the whole time and not quit.
Mm-hmm.
So that was more so kind of a somewhat slap in the face to me. And to other people who I know were going for it too. Like, I don't care if it wasn't me, but put somebody else who was shown they wanted to be there and was ready to play.
Cydney, so I know that you had not been following Survivor super closely in the last little bit, but to get ready to go, had you started to tune back into the new era Survivor?
Oh yeah, I was watching up until I didn't get it. At that point, I'm like, oh well, nothing for me to do anymore now. It's kind of it wasn't, there was no reason to at that point.
Mm-hmm.
No reason.
Have you watched any of this season that's on now?
Not a lick.
I could tell you about it.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. What's going on?
We'll get there. We'll get there. But that's not the most important thing that we can talk about right now. I would love to know a little bit more about your background. That you said you were just 22 when you went and played Survivor. How did Survivor end up finding you?
It was an accident. So I was getting ready for my first world championship, and I started doing a lot of cardio. So we did like fasted cardio, basically you do on an empty stomach. And so I just started watching shows, and then randomly I'm like, this is back. What was that application? It was a website back in like the LimeWire days. Remember you used to kind of download one LimeWire? It was kind of back in that. Yeah. So I clicked on it and I was like, okay, let me just start watching Survivor. So I just randomly clicked an episode, started watching it. Kid you not, Rob. The same night I go upstairs, I happen to be just up at 3 a.m. I see a casting call pop up on the TV. Mind you, I never watch TV at night. So it popped up on a casting call for Woodstock. The exact same night I started watching Survivor. And then I told my mom, I was like, hey, Ma, I think I want to go do this. She was like, you can't swim. You don't like bugs. You don't go outdoors. And I said, yeah, I get all that. But guess what? I'm going to go test it. I'm going to try it out. And we went to the casting call that weekend. And then that was all she wrote. I killed it because I just was myself and I answered the questions how I answer questions. And that was it. And everybody said, you did a great job. And I was like, did I? I just answered the question. And that was it.
Yeah. And then did you have any hesitation going to go do it, considering that you were already involved in bodybuilding, that the toll that it was going to take on your body?
I didn't know what the full toll was going to be, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I was so oblivious. I didn't even know when the game was starting. So I just literally I was out here winging it. And so going in, I was like, okay, let me eat a little bit more because most people don't realize I got right off the stage. A week later, I was on the island. So I was doing the Arnold Figure International, which is our second biggest show in the world. I got right off stage. I said, let me eat as much as I can for a week. And then I was right back on the island. So I was already kind of primed to be in a deficit. So that wasn't as impactful. But the toll was a lot. Like most people don't realize I lost 26 pounds. I didn't have 26 pounds to lose.
Yeah. But it's so interesting that you came back from Survivor. You did this. You went very far into the game. How much weight did you lose when you played?
26 whole pounds. That was soaking wet with clothes on.
All right. And so, but from that, you went, and that's when you reached the highest highs of your career. How did you so quickly turn that around?
That was the crazy part, because when we got done with the show, we were going back to the airport, and I was like, yeah, I said, this is my last day to eat a little bit of ice cream because I got to start my diet tomorrow. And they were like, Sid, what? I said, yeah, I start my diet tomorrow. I had a show to qualify for the Olympia in 7 weeks once we got done with the show. Yeah. And so I got back and I said, you can't do a real diet. You just have to eat as much as possible, just lean protein, carbs, fats, eat as much as you can and just lift as heavy as you can. And I did a show 7 weeks later and won. And then, but it took that entire year for me to learn how to restructure my body, because genetically I was able to make it look good enough just because my genetics are so just different than everybody else's. So I can get away with it. But in terms of being my best body, it wasn't. I had to fight to get the little bit that I had, but it took me a year, probably a solid year minimum to restructure and get the muscle back where you wanted it.
Do you feel like that discipline that you have to be a competitive bodybuilder was something that helped you in Survivor?
It made everything easy. Once we started starving out, because if you saw the show, like I always tell Jason and I, we always laugh about this because it was like we went from the hood to middle class to rich. Every island was like a little step up. And so we were starved out initially. So that's why we were dying. We didn't have any food. You might see 1 or 2 coconuts on the island, period. And so we were starved. And then you go to the Blue Tribe Then it was like, okay, the little snail, you got a little urchin, you have more food. By the time we got to the merge, oh, there's food everywhere. So like by that point, the discipline made the first portion easy, but by the end, that's when I was really thriving, which is when I need to thrive, because I was like, okay, now I have a little bit more food. Other people, I wasn't winning, but other people winning stuff and giving me food. So I'm like, okay, now I'm in a reverse diet. So there's different things in my brain was like, all right, you got this. All right,
Yeah.
use this here, put this here, and strategize.
Because so many survivors, when they get done with the show, that they have such a difficult relationship with food and eating, and it's really hard for the players to bounce back, where a lot of the survivors that they sort of like yo-yo, where, okay,
Yep.
they maybe lose 25, 30 pounds, but then they gain back 40 or 50 when they come back from the show.
Yeah. And
Like
that's
not
probably
muscle like you, Cydney.
Yeah. And that's, I saw people getting sick because it can be very dangerous. There's even something called refeeding syndrome. So if you don't strategize how you reverse out of a deep deficit like that, and that wasn't even a deficit, that was starvation. We were starved. That just is what it is. So once you get out of that, you have to just strategize how you implement the food back in. And a lot of people don't have that information going in, but that definitely helped me.
Do you keep up with anybody that you played from Survivor Kaôh R?
The only person I talked to consistently, who just literally texted me yesterday, was Jason.
Yeah.
The most ironic thing of the whole thing, that we've been besties for like this entire time. We had a little rough patch originally, and then we course corrected that, and then we've been good ever since.
How about Scott? I follow on social media. No, well, I know he had some health issues where that he was having some needed a transplant. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll go back on Twitter for any updates on that. Cydney, so what about Michelle and Aubrey, who have both played so much reality TV since Survivor Kaôh R?
I haven't. Michelle and Aubrey and I, we kept in touch for like the years following. They came to my bodybuilding show where when we got done, that was prior to the votes being read, though. So that's a key thing to be noted. And then I saw Aubrey again. We hung out when I was going to USC in 2019. So we went to like a spa day, hung out and everything. But since then, Aubrey had her baby and everything. I haven't talked to either of them since that point. So at least 2019 for Aubrey, 2018 for Aubrey, and then I haven't spoken to Michelle at all. She might leave a comment or something on Instagram, but that's about it.
Yeah. Are you surprised that they both played so much, but Michelle has really come into her own as a legend of the challenge?
That's what I've seen. I didn't really know, because I do watch the challenge, but I didn't really know until other people were telling me kind of how great she was doing. I was like, that's very interesting to see, but I love that for her. So I'm all for people coming into their own and really finding their voices and showing out how they need to show out.
Yeah. So one of the things that I found so memorable about you was that you had so many great confessionals, so many great quotes from your season of Survivor. Is that something that in your industry that you're really known for how funny you are?
No. well, yes, people do know me for that. I literally just talk and then people just laugh. That's about it. So it's my friend, one of my friends used to tell me, they said, "Sid, you talk in tweets." And I was like, you know what? I think I do. So literally when I just talk in one-liners, and whatever comes out, I've done better with determining a filter now. But back then the filter was non-existent. And whatever I'm thinking, you're going to get it. That's all you're getting.
Yeah. Did you know that's how you were going to be on reality TV?
Oh yeah. I didn't plan to be anybody else. So you're going to get me. You're going to get me. And especially in the confessional, where I can really pop my S words. Okay. I'm going to talk all day long, because it's the only time. It's like therapy. Like, I'm finna say whatever the hell I want to say. So I definitely had the producers dying laughing all the time, because I was talking big the whole time.
So I've gotten so many links to what you're working on now. So could you talk a little bit about the types of things you're doing now?
Well, more so I'm just kind of bouncing around, trying to get back into the TV land. That'll be fun. Ideally, the challenge, if you're listening, I know you already hit me up again. I'm ready.
Okay.
Getting back into that, really that space, because it's so much fun. It's so much fun being able to do things that you're not going to do in regular life. Like jumping from buses and trains and stuff. You're not doing that in regular life.
Okay. That's so interesting that I didn't know that you were looking to pursue opportunities like the challenge.
Yep. They also reached out to me during the time where I was shutting everybody down. So
Yeah.
but that's the thing is like, I've shut everybody down. Now it's the time to be like, hey, I'm actually open now, still in shape, still ready to
Yeah.
go.
Okay. Well, to all of you producers out there who are listening, let's get Cydney back on television. Okay. Somebody who's listening. It, you know, I don't know if you have like ranked, like it sounded like Survivor would have been that for you. But is the challenge now number one for what you want to do?
I can see the challenge being up there. There's a couple other ones that one of my friends kind of started mentioning to me, like even traders, that could be fun. I could do something like that. So those are, I would say those might be my top two. Because I think traders might be really, really fun though. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. So how do you think you would do on the traders?
I think I would kill it. I honestly think I would kill it. Not gonna lie. I really think because the key thing is I'm so removed from reality TV. Unless you're a super fan or unless you rewatch my season, you don't know enough. You're just gonna get regular degular me. So it's enough to kind of be like, you know, what's she riding me? We don't know.
Okay. So would you want to play the game as a trader or a faithful?
Oh, good question. I honestly think I would be good at both. Not gonna lie. I think I would be good at both. But I think the trader would be the most fun. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah.
Yeah. So if you were in that universe of the challenge, that do you feel like that you and Michelle would be able to pick up where you left off in the challenge?
We would need to have some talks.
Okay.
We would need to talk and get on the same page and see what the page is. Are we even in the same book?
See, I feel like as somebody who watched Survivor, and I know I don't get to, there's so much that happens after the show, but I feel like that you would be on the same page, and you were a vote for Michelle to win, right?
Oh, we were great together. But the key thing is, one thing about me is I always watch patterns and consistency and longevity. So one thing about me also is if there's anybody who I didn't like on the game, I don't talk to you now. That doesn't, I don't, gameplay doesn't, because I align with people who I like. I don't align with people I don't like. So that's the key thing too. So for me, for the future, it's kind of seeing, it's like new friendships. Are those people, it's been 10 years. We don't know each other anymore. 22-year-old me is not that. I think Michelle was like around my age, a little bit older. We're not the same people. So I'll be curious to see what that even looks like. And if it would even need to be necessity, because at the end of the day, we both have different personality types. And so how my life works and how I am just may not need to pair with anybody really until it needs to be paired. Like my people always find me. Whatever instance I am, they always find me. So if she wasn't one of those people, that would be unfortunate, but I know I would be okay regardless.
I think you two would pick it up.
Okay.
I think so. Michelle's so easy to get along with. She knows what she's doing. If you came in as a rookie,
that would be crazy.
That would be crazy, but you need somebody to sort of vouch for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cydney, what does your shirt say? I can only read thou shalt.
Thou shalt not try me. Move 24/7.
Yes. Do people make that mistake? Do people try you?
You know, Rob, this year, I'm going to say yeah.
Besides maybe people that are making casting decisions for Survivor.
Period.
Yeah. But other than that, other people are trying you also?
I wouldn't say it's not large amounts, but there's always one or two who tries to sneak in there and think you won't get snuck. So
yeah.
But I like to fight back, Rob.
Okay.
I am a fighter.
Yes. So let me see. You have been so out of the Survivor world. What do you like? What have you observed in this time away from Survivor? How much do you know about what's happened since you played on Survivor in 2016?
I watched for a while. So like I said, I just stopped watching probably this year. So like I watched the new age thing and all those transitions.
Oh, the new era.
I watched the new era. Yeah. And I think that was probably the mental part that I was like, how would you do with this new era thing? Because the old school one was more like you couldn't control it, but you could. The new age one is just a whole bunch of different variables, different idols, different this, different that, luck here. And it's almost more out of your hands to an extent. And so when I watch people play now, also with the shorter gameplay and I don't know. I just saw a lot of complaining about food and stuff, and I just was like, y'all would never have made it back in the day. You would have never made it. You would have never made it. You would have never made it. 39 days was rough. I made it 37, and it was kicking me up.
So what do you say when players and the show talks about how, like, yeah, it's 26 days, but we give them no food now?
Well, I didn't have any food. Well, I had no food. I didn't have food for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that, y'all are eating, because every single time you turn around, it's a reward challenge. You're eating. You're eating all the time. Just gotta
Did they
wait.
not have as many reward challenges in Survivor Kaôh R?
I felt like they were spaced out with days, but also I felt like the first 2 weeks we didn't get rewards. And I lost the concept of time. But for a good chunk of time, I don't remember any rewards. And the first reward was some forks and some salt, where I almost passed out. Well, not almost, I did. So that was the first reward we were getting.
Yeah.
And that was
and
deep
Beast
into the
Mode
game.
Cowboy almost died for the forks and salt.
Exactly. And you see how hard we had to work for that. And y'all just eating. Y'all got buffet here, reward here. No, it's not the same. And so to me, I wonder too, I wouldn't call it easier. I feel like it's just different. Yeah. I feel like it's a different game you have to play.
So this season, we hear from the survivors that this season, the weather is oppressive. It is one of the hottest seasons they've ever had, but I could have sworn back
Fiji
in season
is not
32.
Cambodia.
We're in the middle of Kaôh R. Like, listen, we don't need no more heat, baby.
Yeah,
that's right. Look, exactly. Fiji will never be Cambodia. That is a different type of heat. That is it will choke you. It did choke me. It will choke you. That heat is nothing like it.
Yeah. They're saying that the players are struggling this season with trying to, like, actually make the moves in the game. Like, their brains are breaking because it's so hot out there.
Rob, don't make me go turn on my TV. I need to go watch now.
Yeah. Is that what was happening in Survivor Kaôh R? Were people's brains melting?
No, we were functioning on 10,000. We were moving. Okay. Decisions were being made at all times. We were making decisions. And that was with no food and heat and no water. Now, keep in mind, most people don't realize we weren't even drinking water. By the time that I went down, we didn't have, because we couldn't make fire. We didn't have a flint. So me, Jason, Scott, Alicia, all of us, we weren't even drinking water.
Tell me, Cydney, why didn't you have a flint in Survivor Kaôh R? I don't remember.
Because we couldn't win nothing. That's why.
Okay, so wait, that was like did you play in the new era?
We didn't win anything. And so we couldn't even get out the gate good. We couldn't even get enough
so
to do anything.
Yeah, that's right. It used to be that you had to go to, like, win a challenge to get your flint.
Right.
So that's not necessarily a totally, like, a new era thing. But now if you lose a challenge, they take it away.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, we didn't even get started yet.
Okay, because we talk a lot about in the new era that there's always a disaster tribe, but you guys early on were kind of a disaster tribe.
A pure disaster. Pure disaster. It was just so much chaos, from the personalities to the weather to the food it just was the perfect storm of us just suffering. But the crazy part is, and the good part is the people who were able to survive on our tribe are the people who know how to suffer. Because it was me, I know how to suffer and diet. Jason's ex-military. Scott is a professional athlete. We already know we can go into the trenches and make it out every time. We'll be just fine.
One of the things from your tribe that we saw was that Jennifer had the bug crawl into her ear. Did you realize how serious that was until you saw the episode?
No, I just was like, I just knew she was in pain. And I don't like to see people in pain unless I don't like you, then I don't care. But if I actually like you and we have a relationship, I'm like, damn, like, she really is miserable. But then I forget it, like, okay, how long is the ear canal, all that stuff. But whole time, we were delusional. It was our first day. We're sitting out here. It's my first time being homeless. And I'm looking like, this is traumatic. We didn't have any shelter. When I tell you we were struggling, we had no shelter, Rob. No shelter, no water, no food. We're sitting out there getting rained on first day. And I'm sitting here, me and Darnell. Who else was by me? And Jen too. We were on a little floaty thingy, just to not be in the sand and have bugs crawl in our ears, because that was the fear. And then we just get rained down on, and you wake up in the morning, you're just looking like, oh, I really signed up for this. Yep.
You know, you mentioned Darnell, and Darnell is somebody who he had such a body transformation after Survivor Kaôh R.
Did you play? What did it look like?
Oh, he's like incredibly jacked and muscular.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, I don't know if I've like you know, I think I saw him like last year. You didn't know this?
Bro, what I tell you, if I didn't know you for real, I don't know. You don't. I forget people quickly. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. No,
I do.
I mean, because he was kind of like he's always tall, but he was like a skinnier guy on
skinnier,
Survivor Kaôh R. Yeah, I'll send you pictures.
Yes, he's sweet.
Sam, can you find a picture of Darnell from his Instagram so we can show Cydney on the podcast? I thought maybe you might be like giving him like the recipe of what to do.
Oh no, we haven't talked. 10 years.
Do you train people also?
I do. I do personal training and posing coaching for athletes and lifestyle too.
Posing coaching?
Yes.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
And most people did it. I made it a job when I was 16 years old, and now there are multiple businesses where people do posing coaching for bodybuilding shows.
Yeah. Do you feel like that there are people that they have the physique, but they don't know what to do? Their poses are trash.
1,000%. And that'll make or break. You've spent hundreds and thousands of dollars, and you can't even position your body on stage. So that's what the posing coaching comes in, is us to kind of fine tune everything and make sure you're showcasing what we need you to showcase in order to win.
Okay, here. Sam has something. Let's see. Okay. I don't know if this is a very zoomed out photo here of Darnell, but you could imagine.
Okay, Darnell. CrossFit.
Okay.
Yeah, I see the shoulders.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll see. How's the pose?
Oh, see, I don't know. That's a regular deadlift.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks proper form though.
Yes. Okay. So if somebody comes to you though, like how much of a base do they have to be able to like for you to then take them to the next level?
Zero.
I
take newbies and teach them everything you need to know from bottom to the top. I will align them with the nutritionist and make sure that I get them on the road. But I literally just take anybody from scratch. As long as you have the mental fortitude and the wherewithal, I will help you get where you need to go.
Yeah. Do you see people only in person or virtually too?
Most people are online. I do both. Yeah, most of my people are online, all the way from Germany to Argentina to Rio de Janeiro, everywhere.
Wow. What about somebody who was going to be like, hey, they called me for, I'm going to be on Survivor 51, Cydney. Could you train me for Survivor?
I could definitely do that. I still incorporate a couple little things just for my endurance to make sure everything is still going where it needs to go.
Yeah. I know you probably don't want to give away all of your secrets, but what is the secret to preparing for Survivor physically?
Honestly, I would say high reps, because a lot of the challenges, I don't know about New Era, a lot of the challenges that I used to see were endurance based. So even if that was just holding a weight out for a lateral raise for a long period of time, which ended up being a challenge, or holding your head or balancing yoga, making your baseline of skills that you do every week, not just a little bit of time going into the show. You need to be ingrained in them, have the balance, have the mental focus and fortitude in order to stay locked in. And a lot of the times your athletes will benefit the most from that. And people who are used to being able to just be extremely focused on one thing and tone everything out, because half the battle is tuning out Jeff. He will talk so much junk the whole time. I remember one time I started laughing. I said, oh, I'm not in it. I'm not locked in. Let me lock back in. And so I will ignore him. And so anytime I'm on TV and somebody's talking to me, I ignore them and focus on the task at hand.
Do you know that people practice the challenges before they go on Survivor now?
Honestly, that sucks the fun out of it. It sucks the fun of it just to be able to go out there and see what you can do. But I get it. As a perfectionist, a retired perfectionist, I'm trying to get better at it. I can see doing it, but it was so much fun, like just not knowing what was going to happen. And you just get out there and see if you can do it on that day. So I love it that way.
Okay. Let me ask you, so for our research team says that the main reason you wanted to go on Survivor was to pay off medical school debt.
I wanted to go to medical school.
Oh,
so
okay.
I needed the money before I signed up for medical school.
Yeah.
And then I had to pivot. So basically what it was is I was going back to school to get my postdoctorate, because I pivoted after I'd already graduated. And then I had to do my postdoc because I didn't take all my pre-med classes. So I was getting ready to do that. And that's when I realized how broke I was. Because they're like, I was on basically, by the time I graduated from Penn, I was on a full ride. I wasn't paying any money to go to school. like my endowment was paying for me to go to school. I was getting paid to go to Penn, basically, at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I graduated, I'm like, okay, well, I want to go to med school. I want to be an orthopedic surgeon. And I looked at my postdoc was $10,000. And I just sat there crying. I'm like, who has $10,000? Y'all just paid me to go here for the last 2 years. Like, I don't know where you think the money's going to come from. So that's when I had to pause. And that's when I was like, okay, let's do the competition thing and see if I can get some money then. But in the midst of me doing the competition thing, because I was already doing it, I was like, oh, if I get on Survivor and I can win that money, then I can go back to med school. But that didn't happen. And I'm not going to be $300,000 in debt.
Okay. What kind of medicine did you want to do?
Orthopedic surgery.
Okay. Is there any part of you that ever says, okay, I wish I would have pursued that?
No, not anymore. All my doctor friends, they once I got back and I told them, and they were like, Cydney, don't do it. They all told me, don't do it, don't do it. They kept saying it. And so what I ended up going back to, because I had enough money to pay for my second degree, which was in PR, sports and entertainment. So I went back to that and I used that more too. And it was cheap.
Yeah. What do you do with PR?
PR for myself, but I can go back and work for a corporation more than anything. But it's been helpful just to be able to help people in terms of spokeswomanship, because I'm a spokeswoman for one of my supplement companies, even in nutrition. And so I just use it for myself more than anything. But I'm able to cross back and forth and be able to be the face and be behind the scenes, putting everything together. Yeah.
Tell me about being the spokesperson. Is this Cake Factory Fitness?
Oh, that's my posing, my training business. Okay. So I'm the spokesperson for Evogen Nutrition, code CYD, CYD. It's basically a supplement company. It's one of the biggest supplement companies in the world. And we've had my boss, he trained Ronnie Coleman, Phil Heath, Jay Cutler, all the biggest bodybuilders in the world. Most notable bodybuilders. He's trained them. And so it's a
Jay Cutler, the football player?
No, was he a football player? He's a bodybuilder.
No, it's another Jay Cutler.
Not a Jay Cutler. Yeah.
Not the guy that was dating Kristen Cavalieri.
No, not that one. No.
Different Jay Cutler. Yeah.
No.
So what's the name of the supplement company?
Evogen Nutrition. EVOGEN. Nutrition. Okay. But we have the best supplements on the market.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm gonna check this out.
Yes, get you some, Rob. Your wife will love you too.
I mean, I didn't want to embarrass myself, but I feel like that. Could you take me, this lump of clay, and like, how far could we get?
As far as you want to go?
I am disciplined. Okay. Yeah. I could follow instructions.
Okay. That's step number one. We can go far with that.
We can go far with that. It requires
you to eat right, sleep right, monitor your stress, do all that stuff. You good.
You know, I feel like the problem and I don't want to blame my family for everything, but I feel like my family is holding me back of like, I would like have like so much better, like, and I try to focus on what I eat, but like, I don't want to like nobody else is eating like this stuff. Like nobody wants to let me sleep.
About that, Rob.
Right. Yeah.
You can, I will bring my scale to the table at any restaurant I go to, every family event. I take my water jug everywhere I go. Matter of fact, this baby goes with me everywhere. Okay. And nobody says anything once you get used to it.
Yes. How hard is it to keep that kind of lifestyle though around if people are not used to that?
Honestly, it's easy for me because I'm such a cutthroat, direct person. So most people won't kind of question it. That's my blessing, because I'm not bothering nobody. Leave me alone. Let me eat my food in peace. Let me work on my goals in peace. I'm not bothering you. I'm not asking you why you eating that chicken and that pizza. I'm minding my business as you should mind yours. And so whenever there's an instance where somebody tries to like step over a line where they're not minding their own business, you just check it real quick.
That's what I need. That's what I need. That's step number one of like, listen, no, but I am beyond reproach. Nobody's allowed to ask me any questions.
You can ask me what I'm eating, how much. I don't care about those regular educational questions, but in terms of questioning my goals, because that's ultimately what it is. Questioning my self-respect, we're not going to do that. Because that's what it is.
Yeah. Cydney, do you have a favorite moment from your time on Survivor?
Honestly, the helicopter ride with Aubrey and Michelle was one of my favorites. We had so much fun that day. Like, that day was probably one of my highlights. That was a great day for us.
So you all got on a reward and you went to somewhere?
Yeah, and that was the first thing I won by myself. Well, what's the first thing? It was either... No, I won two things. Yeah, so I won my little tossy thingy for the reward.
Okay. Yeah, so you went in the helicopter, and where did you go in the helicopter?
I don't know, to some island. I just didn't know what was going on. We went to some island, and we just ate. We ate beef Wellington, and it was this apple pie, and we were just so lethargic. It was a great time.
Yeah. And then were you there with, what was it, with Aubrey and Joe when Joe got sick?
I was there for that one too. Yeah, I was there. I was also.
Did you
well,
know that
bad.
something was going wrong that day?
People always ask me that. They're like, Sid, you should have told. I'm not telling no 70-plus-year-old grown man. I am a child from Georgia, okay? In the South, you don't tell grown folks what to do. You leave grown folks alone and stay in the child's place. So as I'm 22 years old, I'm staying in the child's place. I'm going to let this grown man make his decisions. But I looked and I was like, this ain't going to be good. In the back of my head, I'm like, this ain't, because I've done it before. I've eaten myself into the hospital. It's not good. And mind you, I'm 22. I did it when I was 20. So imagine if I'm 70 and I'm not used to that. That is like, I was able to bounce back, but it I knew it wasn't going to go right.
Did that end up sending things in a negative direction for you where Joe ended up getting medically evacuated?
I thought about this numerous times because I like to ruminate because that's what perfectionists do.
I get that.
I don't think there was any way without me winning that I made it past fourth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's because Ty was so obsessed with Aubrey and didn't really know kind of what he was doing. And I had Michelle. I knew me and Michelle were locked in. I knew we would be good. But at the same time, I'm playing middle of the road. So it's like, I'm kind of over there with them. I'm ready to kick this person to the side. But then if she needs me, I'm going to kick these people to the side. Then when Joe went out, I think it just changed the order of events. And it made me have to lean more towards Michelle because I knew that Aubrey had Ty because, like I said, Ty was obsessed. He was not going to separate from her. I know at no point in time did I think he was going to separate from her. And so I think it led me to land in the same spot I would have landed in regardless.
And if you would have gotten to the end, you would have had a really good shot with that jury, right?
I think I would have had they heard the story. Now, granted, a lot of them, we had a very, very bitter jury. Mm-hmm. And so we would have had to navigate that. That would have probably been the beneficial point for Michelle. But I think when we got to the show, they always asked me like who I was voting for, besides the ones who were like just mad that I beat them. I was very clear that I was voting for Michelle at the gate because I played a loyal game. If you didn't cross me or try to cross me, guess what? I'm sticking true to you and we're going to ride it out until you can't anymore. And so I think that I would have had a good shot with a numerous amount of people with it being like me, Michelle, and Ty. I think that because I knew Ty wasn't going to get any votes. I knew he wasn't. I just knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, because going back to that Final Four scenario, you ended up having to make fire against Aubrey. And now they do that all the time. Now it's all all Final Four.
After my year, I would have been fine, Rob. See, that's the stuff I'll be talking about. That's what we're talking about.
But why would you have been fine?
Because they changed it literally the next season where it was mandatory fire. Because Michelle would have taken me. And I wouldn't have to do anything. Aubrey and Ty would have been making fire. And I'd have been sitting there pretty.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Did you make fire ever before?
No.
Yeah. Listen, I wouldn't be good at it either.
No, I tried when Alicia and I were trying to get our Flint going the first couple of days. After that point, by the time you get over there, Joe's making it. He was a fire maker. So he was just making fire left and right. You never really got a chance to make anything. Mm-hmm. And then comes time to make it. The whole thing is, it's not even, just my charger. It's not even the same type of material. So it's like you're learning to make fire, but you're not making fire. It's kindling and on a concrete surface with other things that you wouldn't have made fire with anyway. So it's kind of like, by the time I'd had my fingers sliced open, there wasn't really much else I could do.
Yeah. Cydney, if you don't mind, I need to thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. Now, I know that you said that you got to get your sleep right if you want to be serious about your fitness. How much sleep does a person need a night?
It depends. Men and women need different amounts of sleeps. And then within that, you have people who definitely need to, plugging in this charger. You have people who need to get more sleep than others. So if you have your men, you can get away with about 6 or 7 hours. Women, we may need more because our brains work a lot more than a lot of other people. Do a lot of stuff.
My wife told me she needs 10 hours of sleep.
Yeah, especially to the mom too.
Yeah. I said, I don't know. Well, let's listen. Good luck with that. If you want to get to your sleep goals, check out mantasleep.com. They got everything you need to get a great night's sleep, including these incredible sleep masks. Cydney, do you use a sleep mask?
You know I do. I stay with a sleep mask on. I got to block out all the light.
Yeah, it's got 100% blackout features for everything you need, whether you're sleeping during the day or during the night. Of course, customizable fit, especially for side sleepers as well. And you can check it all out. Go to mantasleep.com, get 10% off with the promo code RHAP49. Cydney, I also saw that you were inducted into the Hall of Fame for professional bodybuilding this past year.
Well, it's actually the International Sports Hall of Fame. So I was inducted with it. Yeah, so it's overarching. Yep. So I was inducted with one of the head ladies in the WNBA. You had the 3-time Olympic world champion shot putter, Bill Mayer, who was one of the most elite martial artists in the world too. So it was a good mix of people. That was really exciting in Vegas.
Yeah, that's so interesting because I feel like, in the NFL or baseball, you have to be out of the game for a long time. How did you get into the Hall of Fame at such a young age?
They just chose me.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of my accolades. I think I started so young. That's why I think I am the youngest to ever be inducted, but that's probably why, because I started so young. So my history and everything has already been kind of like sped up in a sense, because I accomplished more than most people ever accomplish in the sport. And so they felt they wanted to be rewarded.
Yeah. Tell me about your YouTube channel.
I'm trying to get my little YouTube going, Rob. I do my little podcast. Let me stop calling stuff little. Don't do that, guys. I'm starting my podcast. I got that going, but I basically go over training tips on some things, but I also make sure to talk about bodybuilding portions of things that kind of get neglected. And a lot of times it's just certain categories that aren't bikini or men's open that get neglected. And so you have more conversations about those categories too, to make sure all the women are being uplifted. We go over menopause, health, hormones, and everything like that, so that the ladies have kind of someone to listen to. And I bring doctors in too to kind of just have conversations about what's going on with the body.
How do you like podcasting?
It's actually kind of fun. I honestly have never talked this much in my entire life. And since in 2025 is the most I've ever talked in probably the combination of my entire life. I'm not going to lie. But once you get used to it, it's kind of fun.
Yeah. I was going through your YouTube channel before, and I saw that you have something that I have at my house. I noticed that you have a video about the Ninja Creamy.
Yes, I love my Ninja Creamy.
I love it too, although I get a little lazy and I don't use it. But
I just stopped. I did for like 2 years straight, and then all of a sudden I hit a wall, and I'm like, you know what? Let me give it a little break, but I still love it.
Yeah. It's basically a way to make ice cream. Although my wife says it's stupid, and my kids said like, oh, this isn't good. But if you want to like turn like whatever, like milk and protein powder into ice cream.
Yep.
See, Cydney, I could do this.
Yes, you can't. And the key is the ratio. It's the water ratio or the cashew milk ratio to protein combo. Shake that up, and it gets the consistency just right. But you got to click the right buttons too.
Yeah. So what kind of inspiration do you look for to make a YouTube video?
It really depends kind of what's happening at the moment. Like the next one I have coming out, I just got back from Germany. I lived in Germany with my sister for a month. And then we took a family trip and a friend trip to Japan as well. So my next one is going to be like a vlog of all things travel and how to travel and stay in shape and how to travel and do all these different things and give recommendations on what's what. But ultimately, a lot of my stuff comes down to mental fortitude and mental health and mental wellness, and just kind of a lot of my stuff is going to be about boundaries and kind of teaching people not necessarily how they should think, but things they should think about as they're going through this life in general, not even just bodybuilding wise, but just kind of as a person who wants to accomplish anything. So
can people listen to your podcast that aren't necessarily looking for bodybuilding information? Are there other benefits?
That is, well, I'm getting more into the other benefits. Yeah. So we're starting talking about, I have a OBGYN coming on who's one of my clients. So it's going into just being in shape moms and talk about your hormones. Like the last podcast I did and the ones coming up, we're going to go more into wider reaching things. So that way everybody can be included in the conversation of health and wellness.
Okay. Let me go back to talking about Survivor and your involvement with the show.
Mhm.
Now, obviously, they shot Survivor 50.
Mhm.
And Cydney, if the Survivor producers got back to you and they said, hey, Cydney, we fumbled the bag, okay? We blew it, but Survivor 52, it's going to be 20 seasons since you played, that we would love to have you. Would you say yes to that call? Or, but like you said, if you are going to trifle with Cydney, that's it. You're not going to come back from that. Would you tell them no?
At this point, yeah, I would.
You'd still do it. Okay.
No. I would say no.
Oh, you would say no. Oh, what a
no.
tricky way to answer that question.
I would say solely because so much time and so many
They
decisions
tried
were
you.
made.
They tried
Not-
you, and they
It
shall
was a
not
try.
do that.
It's more so like, since it's not a shoe-in, I can't get ready to up in my. I have so much going on and so many
Yeah.
businesses being run that I have to be a part of. I can't up in my life again for a maybe. That's
Yeah.
the thing, ultimately.
Yeah, but let me just be devil's advocate here, because
Okay.
you're already in such good shape
Mhm.
that you're already like could roll out of bed and dominate on Survivor.
Mhm.
Couldn't you just go? I know you have everything else that's going on in your business and all these other enterprises, but physically you could just, jump in, right?
Oh, physically, I'd be fine. Absolutely,
Yes.
1,000%. Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't be worried about that. And the challenges they don't seem to be as hard as the other ones, honestly.
But it would be getting all of your affairs in order.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
But also just too, like there is there's yeah.
They tried you. Okay. So there's the challenge, there's the
Yeah.
traders. Is there anything else that we're considering? What about the Amazing Race?
I would do Amazing Race.
Yeah.
It seems crazy, but I would do Amazing Race.
Yes. And I know we're talking about other hypothetical scenarios, but
Yeah.
there are some other realistic things that may or may not be happening in the future that we definitely can look forward to.
Correct. That's
Yeah.
all I was going to say on that.
Is there anything that people have a misconception about you from your time on Survivor that you want to correct?
Honestly, I don't know what people's thoughts were because I never looked.
Yeah.
So like, I got great feedback in person usually,
Mhm.
but there's never, besides the Joe thing, there was nothing else I heard of. Oh, it was one time, in one comment that I can remember, somebody saying something about not sticking up for Alicia. I was looking like, you didn't watch the films, babe. I was back there holding it down, but also, folks are grown. We're playing a game here. So even Jeff commented, he was like, "Sid, you really had her back?" Yeah, I had her back. We had a whole heart-to-heart, whole talking. That's why she said, "Good luck, City," at the end. We had conversations about how to move through life as a grown woman. And I was 22 at the time. But we had conversations. So that was the only thing. I was looking like, this right here is not a women empowerment situation. I already empowered her. I gave her my thoughts. And after that point, you have to be an adult. Because now I have to separate me as a person from the game.
Yeah. Does anybody ever hear from her? Nobody knows.
No, but if anything, I remember her and Darnell became like best friends after the show. So if anybody, he did.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see if we can find out what's going on with that.
Yeah.
Will you watch Survivor 50 after all this?
I might keep my same track and not watch it. Honestly, I think Rob, I think I'm done. That was. I don't think I need to watch it. There are a couple people on there that I would love to see. Like I would love to see Siri on there, Aubrey. I think it was who was one of my favorites. Starts with a B. He had the glasses.
B with the glasses. Rick Devens. Okay.
Yeah, right. I like him a lot. I met him in person. I told him I was a big fan of him. So he was really nice. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
So I'd be happy for them.
But I feel like you have a very healthy relationship with the show, and
yes.
I feel like that it probably like also like dovetails into your approach to everything. Of like, I know what's good for me, I know what's bad for me. I have incredible discipline that I'm only going to put the things into me that are good, and the stuff that's not good for me and the stuff that is holding me back. I don't have any place for that in my life, and I love that. I wish I had more of that.
You can get it. It's a skill. Honestly, it's a skill. Some of it's innate, but it's a skill.
Yeah.
I just honestly, Robin, when it comes down to it, there's a lot of things I don't care about in a healthy rationale of it. Like, if shit's going left, I don't care.
Yeah.
I control what I can control.
All right. Well, Cydney, I'm so happy that we got the chance to catch up. I hope it's not going to be 10 more years.
Let's hope, honestly, because I'm ready and primed for the TV. I've been staying in good shape, doing my pull-ups, getting strong for the people, and yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you on more things. Is there anything else you want to let people know to check out?
And well, if you want to watch a podcast, you can watch my YouTube. It's Cydney Gillon. We have a lot of fitness stuff on there. You can follow me on Instagram at Vitamin C and TikTok. I do a lot of TikToks on mental health and just me yapping. And if you want to hear me talk all day and crack jokes, that's pretty much what my TikTok is. And that's Vitamin C, VYTAMIN_C.
What are you joking about on TikTok?
I talk about everything. I literally, if a thought comes to my head, I film it. And that's it. And it just blurts out. It's basically a bunch of this times 10. It could be about any topic. Like, I don't even pigeonhole it to bodybuilding. It can be about anything.
Yeah, can I bring up a TikTok that this is one that the team pulled from your TikTok and something that you just discovered this year? Okay, I'm gonna play this for everybody. Okay, here's you in the car, and you're talking about your favorite thing about being retired.
My favorite part about retirement from bodybuilding, brunch.
Yes,
brunch, y'all. I went to my first brunch ever in April, and I mean ever. I mean in my 32 years of living at that time. Now, I went to brunch again, my first time ever in Georgia. That was in June. And we get to now, my friends are like, oh, Sid, you want to go out for brunch? Oh, Sid, you want to go out this little 12 o'clock spot? I'm like, you know what? Sign me up. I'm going to go. I'm going to enjoy it. Now, I will say it definitely is a difference in terms of trying to get your other meals in once you do a cheat meal earlier in the day. So that's why I prefer to go at nighttime, like have it be my last meal. But having it during the middle of the day is kind of cutesy too, just to switch it up.
What'd you get at brunch?
I had 3 separate sets of pancakes. It was a cinnamon roll one, a red velvet one, a Oreo one, and I had a chicken biscuit with eggs. It was chicken and egg sausage biscuit. And then I had some home fries too. It's a whole assortment. It was delicious. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. All right. This was a cheat meal.
Yes, it was cheap.
Yeah. Okay. Incredible. All right. Well, anything else that's great about retirement?
Life. Getting more time to spend with my friends, my family, and just really just traveling and getting to soak up all of everything that life has to offer and not having to be, I will always be regimented, but I can now schedule in some spontaneity.
Okay. All right. Well, Cydney, thank you for making time to catch up on all of this. Appreciate everybody who tuned in for this one. I had a great time talking to you, Cydney, and hope to get the chance to chat more in the future.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.